Well, welcome everyone to this week's episode of 3 on Thursday. If you are watching on my YouTube channel, please sign into your Google email so that you can make a comment on the cards today. This is a requirement of YouTube and not of me. All right, and if you're watching live on my Facebook page, please post your comments directly in the comment section. Okay, we're going to get some business out of the way. I want to remind everyone that if you comment, then you are entered into the weekly drawing to win the cards that I make today. So if you comment, then you are entered automatically, and then we will draw, and you have from now until next Wednesday, which is going to be the 26th. So that's the way it always works. If you watch me on a Thursday, you have until the following Wednesday to make a comment to be entered in the drawing. All right, the more comments you make, the more chances you have to win. Today's cards for the card number 1 and 2, you will find those directions out on my blog post, and there's a free download that will be there that you can download the directions. All right, so here is our new annual catalog that will become live to the public on May 2nd, 2023. So it's a beautiful cover. It's showing the some new colors in the color refresh and some of the in colors. This is that lolly or lemon lolly, which is a really pretty yellow. All right, so we got that out of the way. This is the PDF that you'll be able to download. It is 2 pages, and you will, like I said, you will be able to get that off of my blog later this evening. Okay, let's start off by giving away last week's cards. And last week we used the Tea Boutique for our 3 cards. So there was 1, 2, and 3. And I had a special that if you purchased the fresh flowers, then I would give you a free kit to make this special fun fold card. So I had several of you take advantage of that, and you'll be receiving those free kits when I see you at our club class or via the mail. Okay, so the winner of this week's cards, or of last week's cards, I should say, is Mary Ash. So congratulations, Mary, for winning the 3 cards from last week's 3 on Thursday. Okay. So I want to welcome everyone to today's projects. We are going to make some cards using the He's the Man set. This is a set that is continuing in the next catalog, and it also has dies to match, and we're going to be using this die out of the all that die set. Okay, now this set is still available until May 2nd as a bundle where you can purchase both of these for the price of $45. Once May 2nd gets here, then you'll need to purchase them separately. Okay, so now would be a great time if you'd like to have this set to go ahead and purchase it. I don't know what's with my light today, but it's sure giving me a glare. Okay, let's see. So let me just show you a couple cards that I kind of put together this morning using some retiring paper. This is a birthday card. I'm using the Journey. I'm trying to think what the name of the Adventures or Journey. I can't remember what the stamp set and the bundle was called, but this is a bicycle, and I didn't want to pop him up on dimensionals. That was in the mini catalog. Oh, well, let's see. What did I do with the mini catalog? Here it is. Enjoy the Journey. That was the name of the suite. Or the suite. Sweet. So what I did, And this is an idea for you anytime that you have a die cut that you want to raise up a little bit to give it some dimension, is cut out 3 of them and then glue those 3 together, and it gives you a dimension, and yet it's not, we're adjusting the camera here. It doesn't come up as high as if you were to use dimensionals on it, okay? So that's one that I used. And then this is another card that I made. It's a masculine card. Today was kind of all masculine. This was using the Ready to Ride designer series paper, as well as one of the cutouts. It came several pictures to a page, and so I just fussy cut the rider to put him on the front of my card. But as you can see both sides of the designer series paper the way that it was folded. So that is that masculine card. That set is also going to be available in the annual catalog, but the suite is retiring. The suite, as of this morning when I checked, is still currently available, and that would include your designer series paper plus the motorcycle and the die cuts. So that's a cool set to have. All right, so today's cards, you're going to get a bonus card if you win this week, because we're going to make 4 cards. I wanted to demonstrate how you can use the designer series paper, if you have it, for He's the Man, as well as using just the stamp set with other paper when the designer paper is no longer available. Good afternoon, Sterling. I'm so glad that you joined me. I'm hoping that a few more jump on. I know that Pat was ready to come on. I'm not sure where she's at yet, but she should be arriving shortly. So let's go ahead, and we're going to start with making this card here with the designer series paper. So the paper is cut at 5.5 by 8.5, and then it's scored at the 4 1/4 mark. All right, and I'm just going to give that one good press with my bone folder again. And then I have a piece of 5 1/4 by 4 that will go on the inside of the card. This is not Smoky Slate. This is Sahara Sand. And it coordinates with the designer series paper, which is no longer available. But like I said, some people may still have some of it laying around, and this is a good way to use up some of those scraps. Then I have a piece of the designer series paper. So I'm using this side and this side, and this just measures at, I'm trying to find my notes here for where I put, there it is. This piece measures 4 1/4 by 3 inches, and we're just going to attach that right down here to our card base. Hi, Sue. Or hi, Sue. Oh my gosh. Hi, Beverly. How are you today? I hope everybody's doing good. The weather here is gorgeous. Pollen is high, so the allergies are really hitting us. Oh, good. Pat's made it on. So you've just missed a little bit of it. You'll have to go back and see who won the cards from last week. And at the end, I'll show you the other 2 cards that I made, just to show and tell today. So I'm just going to lay that piece of designer paper down right, not necessarily in the center, but kind of in the center of our card base. Then I'm going to take this piece, and this one measures 1.5 by 4 1/4, and we're going to lay that down on our designer paper layer. And this isn't necessarily centered either. It's just going to be kind of wherever you want to put it. So I'm placing mine there. Now we're going to take and do some stamping. And this piece here is just a piece of scrap white that measures 1 3/4 by 2 1/4. And we're going to use the stamp that says, "To the man who does everything." And I know that we have a lot of men out there that do a lot of things for us. And I am stamping for this card with Early Espresso, because Early Espresso is one of the colors that's used in the Designer Series paper. So I'm just going to ink up my stamp real good. Get things straightened out here. Lay my little piece down here. And then I'm going to stamp this in the center. Okay. Didn't quite get even, so I'm going to restamp that. I don't know. I think it's because of the angle that I'm stamping. Let's see if I can get in here without getting my head in the camera. I think I can. Okay. That looks pretty good. We're going to pop this up on some dimensionals. This is kind of a real simple card, but you know, we always struggle to make those masculine cards, not just for our significant others, but for friends. And this card here can be used as a birthday card. And I will show you how I used it on my other card. So once we have that, then we're just going to put that right there over the top of our Designer Series paper. Then we're going to take our white piece on the inside, and we're going to stamp, "Wishing you everything wonderful, happy birthday." And I need my, because the one stamp that I'm using is an photopolymer, I need to have my stamping mat here. You can no longer get this little pad that was sold with the Stamparatus, but you can use the Stampin' Paris mat. But this one just is easier for me to put on my desk. So wishing you everything wonderful. And then I'm using a little happy birthday from the stamp set. Something Fancy. Okay, because I didn't want a scripty type happy birthday, since I was trying to keep this more masculine. So then there is our happy birthday. That's going to get laid down then on the inside of our card. So it is a quick and easy card, but I also want to point out to you that this is like a card sketch. So you could use the same basic, "Hi Mary, glad that you could join us today. You can watch the replay for what you've missed. We're doing masculine cards today. Hi Cherie. I know that when we had our coffee and chat last week, I had a request to do some more masculine cards. So that's why I decided that today was going to be masculine card day. Like I said, I am using some retired Designer Series paper, but I'm also showing you, oh, that I did not get cut. We'll have to cut that down, and that is going to be at 4 1/4. Let me cut that real quick since I've got sticky on it. 4 1/4. Hopefully my snip. Oh, my assistant is over here laughing at me. because she knows I don't cut straight. See, she's laughing. That looks pretty straight though. Okay. So I'm just using a 3/4 by 4 1/4 or 4-inch piece of the same kind of designer series paper. And like I was saying, this is like a card sketch. So all you have to do is change your paper, your DSP or your cardstock, and how you do it. And for some reason, that still isn't the size I need. I guess I didn't measure it correctly, but I can snip it off. So we're going to snip. There we go. All right. So that is card number 1. Very simple. We are going to add some little stars wherever they went. I had them in my little kit. Here they are. Let's cover up the early espresso. My hand will get right in there, I'm sure. All right, so these were in the designer series paper for the He's the Man. So they were just little stars. They were die cuts already. It came with several different dies. If you are interested in purchasing a kit that would make a card similar to this, I can't guarantee the same kind of paper, but I have several different sheets of the designer paper. Let me know, and once it retires and it's out of the catalog, then I can sell you a kit. So for these little stars, I'm going to put some glue, and I just thought that they needed something. Get me my little stick pin. I left it open just enough this morning. So is everybody having any big plans? I have. The plan is this weekend, Saturday, to mow grass, which is always fun, and that is not going to come out today. It may be empty. So I will grab another bottle from my assistant. And then I have a training to go to Saturday afternoon for Stampin' Up, which I'm always excited about. It's an online training. I go to those trainings so that I can gain some new, fresh ideas to share with all of you. So I'm looking forward to that. I am loving the weather out there today. I mean, the wind is blowing, but it's still a very nice day. Okay. And just to remind you all, the information on my birthday bash, everything's coming up daisies, is posted out there on my Facebook page. And I also sent it out to...
You gonna put it on your blog?
Yes, I have to put it out on my blog yet. I also sent it out in an email. So there is our first card. Okay. Now let me show you how I changed it. And I did it with just regular cardstock and a piece of DSP from the Daisy set. The, what is it called? Fresh as a Daisy pack. Okay. Because in that pack, you have some watercolor wash paper. And I thought, okay, I can make this stamp set work even without the designer series paper that it came with this year. So here is, and this is a new color. This is the Pebbled Path color. And I'm using very vanilla. And I emboss this with one of the new 3D basic embossing folders. That's an online exclusive. And here is the paper that is the daisy paper on one side, and then it has the gray pebbled beach. Yeah, I want to be at the beach. The pebbled path paper. And then we have very vanilla to stamp our greeting on. And we're going to stamp our greeting with what else but pebbled path. So let me clean the stamp. And we're going to stamp that. We don't need the stamping pad. We're going to stamp our greeting. You guys are not very talkative today. Have you taken time for yourself to make a card or two? I know Pat's been working on cards. She's taken one layout and she is making several cards. So I'm very proud of her for that. Using up some retired DSP. I think sometimes we become too attached to our designer series paper and we don't want to ever get rid of it. And ladies, we have to get rid of it. We really, really do. Now this card I made into a thank you card. Okay, so it says, to the man who does everything, thank you. Because some of us don't have. Good afternoon, Terry. You can order from the new catalog May 2nd is when it goes live. Speaking of catalogs, how many of you have received one yet? Let me know in the comments if you've received the new catalog. They should be arriving to your homes shortly. All right, where is my thank you? I know I left it out here. Thought. Terry, you got yours? Okay. And Sterling, hi, how are you? And you got yours, Sterling. You let me know that the other day. Okay, Cherie, you're still waiting on yours. That aggravates me because I really thought that you guys would have received them by now. They should be coming, I promise, ladies. I've got some more on order. So if in the event that we don't have them by the end of April, you can rest assured that I will get you one. So there, I'm just going to put thank you on the inside. I have another piece of scrap that is going to go across the bottom, just like the other one. I know Pat hasn't received her catalog either. That's how I can kind of tell when they're going to start arriving around here. I think, oh, that was not good. We're going to flip this over because I just got glue all over the front of my card. And I am putting it down on my silicone pad. Yes, Cherie, the He's the Man set is current, and you can still buy it as a bundle for $45. After May 2nd, the bundle goes away, but the stamp and dies will stay in the catalog. So the only thing that you won't be able to get is the DSP paper that goes with it. And I looked this morning and the DSP is sold out. And that's why I thought I wanted to show you an alternative of how you can still use the stamp set without the DSP. Now, my thank you that I'm using is coming from the Something Fancy stamp set. Okay, See how easy that lifted up for me from being glued? And Mary, you haven't got yours yet. Well, if you all get your catalogs before I see you, send me a message on Facebook or text message or something to let me know that you've received it. I know that things are kind of slow right now in shipping. Oops, I almost turned that upside down. There is a backlog on the shipping, and I apologize, ladies, if you've ordered something recently and you still have not received your order. They are working diligently on getting those orders processed and shipped out. The 4th of April was a record-breaking order day in the 35 years of Stampin' Up. 2 reasons. One was that it was the discontinuing sale started, as well as the pre-order for demonstrators. So hence, when you have thousands of people ordering mega products, you are going to have a backlog in shipping and picking. And I don't know why I grabbed that one. That one's not cooperating today. But rest assured that it will be coming. And then they had free shipping yesterday. So on top of the already backlog, then they open it up for free shipping. And I think they do that so that those that want to get a lot of the discontinuing and retiring products, you can get them and save that shipping charge. Okay. All right. So there's my embossed piece. That's the same size as that designer series paper. I'm going to lay down our designer series paper that is the Pebbled Path color right here. We're going to put our dimensionals on our greeting. So how many of you struggle? I know I do. I struggle with making masculine cards. How many others struggle with making masculine cards? It's so easy to make a feminine card. And usually if you've got a cutesy little stamp set, it's easy to make a child's card. Teenagers are a little bit harder to make cards for. There are some stamp sets coming in the new catalog that are geared towards teenagers, which is really good. Okay, so Pat and Cherie, this layout is a very simple layout for masculine cards. All right. So on this one here, oh my goodness, do you know what I did? I forgot to do a very important thing, but I think I can still do it. I took the blob stamp, is what I call them, from the Nature's Prints, and I put that, I kind of stamped that all over Isn't that sad, Cherie, that kids expect money and not to appreciate the work that has gone into a handmade card? So what I'm going to do is, because I can't stamp underneath all of this, we're just going to stamp above the area that I should have did this all over, but we're going to fix it. So it's just giving it a little bit of dimension to that. I thought it kind of dressed it up a little bit. And then we're going to do the same down here at the bottom. and just give it some texture so that it doesn't look quite so plain. So see how that kind of dresses it up a little bit with that Versamark. All right. I'm gonna clean my stamp from that Versamark because it's sticky ink. Okay, so for the upcoming class, you can purchase the 5 new in colors for $45.50, I believe, is the price. Okay, now you can either order those through me when we do your sign up for the class, or you could use that as your monthly club order, as long as you ordered them like the beginning of May, so that you've got them. Okay, because I know 40/50. Okay, so Mary, the entire 5 colors for in colors that we're going to be using for the class is $40.50. So you're saving 10% because you're buying them as a bundle. And those are going to be found on page 125. I'm sorry, page 125 of the annual catalog. All right. So on the registration form, I do have that you can purchase them with me, where I would purchase them at the beginning of May, and then you would have them for the class in June. Okay. All right. So here's our card. Now I took some of the classic matte dots. I'm going to try something, ladies, because I know that some other demonstrators do it. Put a Q before your question, and then at the end, I can go through and answer those questions. I should be able to queue out all those questions and have them all together. I'm going to try it anyway, okay? So if you've got a question, because I may miss it during the class or the stamping today, then if you put a Q before it, I will go through and pull out all of those questions, and we'll have an answer, question and answer at the end. I took some of the very vanilla classic matte dots. I'm not sure if these are staying in, but you can pretty well use any kind of masculine looking embellishments that you want. I just thought that this card needed something to dress it up. So there is card number 2. So let's show the difference between this card and this card. This card is using the He's the Man paper, or He's All That. Okay. Well, I seen your question, but we're going to wait till the end, and then I will then I'll know if I can queue up all the questions. And then here is the same, using the same stamp set with just cardstock, and then one piece of the Daisy, Fresh as a Daisy designer series paper. Okay. They basically look the same, but they're both different. All right. On this one, I put thank you. So you can thank somebody, a friend of yours that might be a man. And if they help you around the house or do your lawn mowing or things like that, then you could give them a very masculine card, or you could use it as a birthday card. All right. So those are the first 2 cards. And those are the ones that will be featured out on my website with the measurements. All right, now the second set of cards that we're going to make, if I can find my supplies here. I just know that someday I'm going to have so much room on my desk, I'm not going to know what to do with it. Here they are, because I pile stuff. Okay. So here again, I wanted to show you with the he's the man, or he's all that. Two different ways that you can use that stamp set. If you still own some of the He's All That designer series paper, you can make a card that looks like that. However, you can also take and use some of the Fresh as a Daisy, which is one of those pieces that were cut out of that one sheet that has multiple pictures on it. And I used that as my front of my card. Okay, so let's start with putting together this. The measurements are the same size. The card base is the 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then you have a piece of designer series paper that measures the 5 by 5 1/4 by 4, and that's going to lay right on top of that. And like I said, this is a card layout, a sketch, if you would, that you can use with any kind of paper, any stamp sets. I know that at one time when I first started as a demonstrator, we did a sketch challenge every week where I gave you a sketch and you all took that sketch and made it using your own paper and stamps. I had a lot of fun, but I didn't have a lot of participants. I had basically about the same 2 to 3 people every week doing it. So I stopped doing that. But if you use this design, this card sketch, if you would, and boy, I am just not getting straight today, so let me huff on this. Breathe deep. Talk amongst yourself, y'all. Oh, guess what Monday is? What's Monday night, ladies? Mystery Monday. I think I'm going to do something different. We're still going to have Mystery Monday, but instead of doing it via Zoom, because I would really like to start drawing in more people. Not, I mean, there's several demonstrators that do it on Monday nights, but that's okay. There's enough customers to go around for everybody. But I think I'm going to start doing it as a just on YouTube, and that way maybe we'll pick up some more people so that we can stamp with some more people. Okay, now this piece here, it is cut a little bit funny, all right? And the reason being was I had to cut my paper from the Daisy pack a little bit funny because it didn't measure what what a normal third layer would measure. So this is 4 3/4 by 3 3/4. So it is going to be a little bit different on the front. You're not going to have necessarily even borders on the sides, which is okay. You don't have to have even borders. It's your card. And sometimes it's good to mix it up. Because after all, nobody but you is going to know that it's not supposed to be that way sometimes. You ought to have seen me this morning, the mistakes that I made. And I have sticky on my finger. What do you think about the color of my nails? I love it. All right. I don't think you've seen Dorothy's nails this week. Dorothy, stick your hand under the camera. She got some in colors. You see those? She's kind of got the boho blue going and the moody mauve. Okay. All right. So we've got that layered laid down. Now we're going to use another stamp from He's All That. And this is the one that says Happy Birthday to a Classic. Okay. So this is kind of good for someone who's older. I don't want to say old, but older. And we are going to use Early Espresso because that's the ink that matches this paper. All right. So we're going to, and I already went ahead and die cut my die. I'm putting on my glasses, and they are the Melon Mambo, so that I can see a little bit better. Because this does have two sides. The top side has a little bit of an indentation where it's kind of embossed. The back side does not. So make sure that you're going to stamp on the right side. So we are going to pray that this is even when I stamp it. Looks pretty good. We're going to stamp our inside now. No, we're not going to stamp our inside. Because this is a birthday card, I'm not going to stamp my inside, and I'm not going to stamp yours if you're the winner of these cards, so that you can add your own greeting to it, okay? So let's go ahead. And what I did was on the paper, the designer series paper, it's cars all over. So I just cut the paper to where I would have full pictures of some old cars. Okay, and you can do that because then you can use the scraps for something else. So let's lay this down. And like I said, and I'm not going to attach this to the inside, so that if you are the winner, you can stamp it before you place it in the center of your card. Sometimes I just find that to be easier. Okay, so that's going to go on the inside, just like so. All right, and this piece is cut down a little bit more. No, it's not. It's 5 by, yeah, it's 5 by 3 3/4. So it is cut down a little bit more because that's what my scraps of designer series paper measured out to be. So I did lessen that, okay? And we're going to put dimensionals on the back of our label, our tag. So Sterling, how's the weather down in Florida? Terry, are you still in New York, or are you back home in Missouri now? You're back in Missouri. All right. Oops, almost did it on the wrong thing. And we're just going to pop our label right there on the side of our card. Happy birthday. And then you can put your own birthday greeting in there. Yes, I hope you're taking care of yourself, Sterling. So there is card number 3. Now here is card number 4. We're using boho blue, basic white, and then like I said, this is from the Fresh as a Daisy set. And I really liked this, and I thought, okay, we're going to just use that as the background for our card. And then on the inside, I took another piece of some of the designer paper that I had scraps of that was just the boho blue color wash, and then I put it down at the bottom of my card. My brother-in-law's birthday is tomorrow, and of course I've missed it. So he's going to get this card in the mail because it says, I didn't forget your birthday. I'm just stretching out the celebration. And that comes from the Something Fancy. So let's put this card together real quick. I used the same die for the greeting. And here is our designer series paper that we're going to lay down. Isn't that pretty? I love that moody mauve on the back of that. Okay, it's always a sad time when we have a retiring catalog. And as I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do today, it was like, you know, I haven't used some of these sets all year that I got. I may have showcased them one time, but that was it. I'm going to try to do better this next year. Even if I don't do videos on them, but have them posted out on my blog for ideas. We're going to attach this one. I'm going to attach this with glue. I do have that one cut correct. So bonus card today, ladies, for whoever wins for commenting. You'll get all 4 of these cards. So that'll give you 4 masculine cards. Now, yes, of course, 2 of them will be birthday cards, but we all need birthday cards for those men that we know. All right, so that one goes there. Now, I'm not going to stamp the inside of yours because you may not forget people's birthdays like I do. So we're just going to put that inside there for you. And then we're going to finish the outside. We're going to stamp our old-fashioned car. And we're going to clean it first because we used early espresso the last time, which would be a terrible fiasco if I put that stamp set in my boho blue. That would be a fiasco, right, ladies? Boho blue. I love this color. I like 99% of the colors. I will learn to like the other 1%, which is the lemon lime twist. I'll learn to like it. I'm sure I will. All right, so now I'm going to stamp this one. Happy birthday to a classic. This just kind of reminded me of a desert scene or kind of like maybe close to the beach, something like that.
Move it up.
Oh, move it up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, ladies. Okay. Dimensionals. That's what I was looking for. So again, we're going to pop these up on dimensionals. Okay, I'll use my take your pick tool. And I didn't really, the only thing that I would do to this card, and I looked in the new catalog, and I didn't see a set that has, you know, the little birds like we did in some of the sets we've had previously. So if you have a little bird, I know that like in the mountain set and in the trying to think what other sets that I've seen it in that have the little birds, the mountain birds, or even in a paper pumpkin they had little black birds. I would add little black birds to this. But since not everybody has birds, I opted to leave it off. But you most definitely could add those if you have one of those. Yes, one of the pumpkin kits did have little birds, Sterling. I do remember that. All right, so there is our happy birthday to a classic, and I didn't get that on there straight. Now we're going to attach this to the front of our card base. So like I said, between now and May 2nd, you can still get He's All That as a bundle with the die cuts, and I'll show you the die cuts here in just a second. The only thing that you cannot get is the designer series paper, but I have given you 2 ideas, and I'm sure that you all can come up with some more ideas on how to use that stamp set without the designer series paper. Okay, so there is card number 3. I'm sorry, card number 4. Okay, I need to take and fold that a little bit better. All right, let me clean off and clear some of this stuff away. And I'm going to lay all the cards out. What's my time looking like? 50. Oh, we'll be under a minute. I mean, under a minute, yeah, under an hour. But there was the DSP and a paper share. I believe it was, Cherie. I think that it was last year because I sorted out all the little die cuts that came with it, and I gave everybody different die cuts. So it wasn't a paper share last year with the new catalog when it came out. So yes, you should have a piece or several pieces for the DSP for this set. Okay, so are those all showing up? All right, so there are our cards, the 2 that we made with the designer series paper, if you still have it, and then the 2 that were made with, the 2 that were made without the designer series paper. Okay, but ladies, use these cards as a sketch. Okay, so you could use any kind of paper, any kind of stamp sets to make this style of card. Very easy, very fast, nothing to it. Okay, all right, so questions. I know what I was going to show you. The die sets for He's All That. So here's the stamp set for He's All That. And then here are the different dies. I have not kept up on my organization, which I want to. Make sure that you can see these. So that's the label die that I used. You get 2 of these, which cut out and make little triangles. You have another label die. You have a little flag die. You have a circle that will cut out your circle stamps. All right. You have an oval die that cuts out Holy Smokes, You're Amazing. You have another little die that goes with Love This Guy, like a little arrow. You have another, so these 2 here are the same, and you could put them coming out from underneath this rectangle die. So there is a lot of possibilities with this stamp set. And then there is 2 more.
I wonder if those 2 that you just put down are supposed to be like ribbon, ends of the ribbon.
It can be. Yeah.
Metal.
Yeah. And then there's this die here that you could use. In fact, give me just 1 second, and I'm going to run this through the cut and emboss machine, and we'll just see what it looks like. No harm in that, is there? Ladies, I can tell you I am so excited, and I just cannot wait until June 10th. And it ain't because it's my birthday, because I don't want to get any older. But we are going to have such a blast at the class. I mean, combine birthday celebration and stamping with your best friends. Oh my. I remember when I turned 50, I had a scrapbook party because I knew that my husband was not going to throw me a birthday bash for my 50th. So I threw my own. And we all had a great time. All right, so those dies that I wasn't sure exactly how they stamped at or how they die cut, this is how they die cut. So these two here could go on the side of this to make it look like a fake ribbon. Okay, does that make sense? And then the other one die cuts two flat ribbon ends. So you could lay those down. And keep in mind, ladies, that these dies, you can use them for anything. You don't have to just use them for this set. You could lay it down like that. Okay, you could lay these two down using the circle there, and then flip this one over. I'd probably cut that differently, and then put your little points there. Oh my. Yes, you could even do it that way. She always has to show me up, you know.
Well, that's what I was.
That's what you were. Oh,
explaining.
okay. Yes. So you could do it like a metal ribbon. Okay. So there's so many different things that you can do with this die. I had one cut like this, but let me see. Let me cut one like this real quick. Because I had one cut, and now I can't find it. I took it out of where I had it this morning. Okay, so there we've got that one. So this is what this die cuts as. And you can punch all these little things out, or you could leave them in there and use it as decoration on the front of a card. So this set, even though it's masculine, you could definitely use these for all of that. Okay, well, Sterling, if you would like the bundle, then you can contact me. You can give me a call, and we can order that for you so that you get it at the bundle price before May 2nd, okay? Because otherwise, after that, then you'd be buying the dies and the stamp set separate. Right now, you can get it in. There'd be a 10% discount on it. Okay. All right. Any other questions today? Comments? Anything else you'd like to know? Don't forget, Monday night is Mystery Monday. I will send out by email the first clue. I've already got in mind what mystery card we're going to make, and I think you guys are going to really like it. And as always, because my people work so fast, we are going to make 2 mystery cards. Yes, Cherie, Senior Citizen Center tomorrow, the Activity Center. If you come to either my Lake Ozark / Osage Beach Club or my Jeff City Club, remember, because we are using the Senior Activity Center, we do have to pay a $2 per person fee. So bring $2 so that I don't get in trouble and they still allow us to use the facility.
And it's upstairs.
And it is upstairs, so you'll come upstairs off the ramp. So you won't have to walk stairs or do an elevator. And hi, Karen. Yes, you finally got here. You will have to watch the replay because we're just about done, Karen. I will show you real quick some of the cards that we did do today. We're doing the He's All That bundle, and it is still available as a bundle until May 2nd. After that, you can still get it, but it will be individually priced. So if you want that, you need to get it before the bundle goes away. So here is one of the cards, and this is using the DSP from the He's All That. There's the other card using the DSP, but here are the cards that I used using the same stamp set, but not using the He's the Man designer series paper. So yes, the label dies are really neat. And you know, so often we have labels that match stamp sets, but we forget about those. And so one of my Tuesday tips is going to be how to organize your label dies so that you know where you can find different labels at, because they don't have to be just used with that stamp set. You can use them for everything. Okay, so those were the cards that we made today, Karen. You can go back and watch the replay. Very simple cards. Again, this one is using the Let's Ride bundle or suite, and this suite is still in until the 2nd so that you can get the paper. After the 2nd, the paper goes away, but the stamps and stamps and dies will stay in. Unfortunately, I do not have that set yet, but I fussy cut this guy out. And here's the Journey one then, Karen, that I did. And this was a bicycle guy. Amazing Journey is going out, or Enjoy the Journey, I'm sorry. That die set and stamp set is going out, but it is a really cool stamp set for teenagers or men. So this was the masculine class. Mary, I don't know if you were here on when we announced the winner of last week's cards from Thursday, but you are the winner. So you will get those cards tomorrow when I see you at class. So until Monday, when we have Mystery Monday with 2 cards, I'll sign off. And remember, do what you love and love what you do. I love teaching you all how to make new cards. Bye, everybody. Have a great weekend.